You know what? Some days just don't go your way, but you got to just get up the next day, go out, fish again. Things will get better. Right? Right? We had a rough session last time, but we're gonna try to have a better one this time. Okay, so welcome back. This is M Dog, and we are still going at our leveling guide series here. Fun and efficient leveling, which we did neither last episode. Very little fun, very little leveling. This will be the last episode. Well, I can't say that for sure, because you never know when I'll have a 2-episode day. But this might be the last episode before I leave town. Just as a reminder for the channel. I think we're already set up for Bream, aren't we? How do I have 22 unread messages? That is amazing. Alright, guys. We're at 38:27 here. We're going to be clipped at 15. I have no idea if this spot's working right now or not. You know, we fished here before. I think we've even fished here on this, during this leveling series, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so we got 5.4 liter on this. And we're just casting south at 15 meters. It is 1:40 in the morning, so we are very late to Bream time, obviously. But I just wanted to be able to test this spot out to see if it's even worth coming back to. We're gonna start off with Bream. We're not gonna mess around with targeting white Bream. First, let's just see how the Bream are, if at all. So this is the last day of videos, either one or maybe 2 videos, before I leave town. However, I do have some surprises in store for you, scheduled to come out while I'm out of town. So if you enjoy the channel, don't worry, I got you covered. Okay? We're good. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing, Vengeance. In fact, we have one Saber 60 already. We're going to get our second, and then I'm going to do that. I've never run 16 kilo line on a Saber 60. I've just never thought of the Saber 60 as a reel that was high enough quality to go that far up. But it sounds like a lot of people are doing it, so hey, I'll test it. We'll give it a try and see how it feels. But what you're saying is very important, and I hope that anyone that's watching this series as I try this in future episodes take this into account. Do not let your rod be weaker than whatever your line is. Even if you're overloading a reel, your rod still has to be the strongest, and put a leader on there so that if something does break, it's not your hopefully it's just the leader that breaks. Okay, so let's see. It's kind of weird, right? Because these did not look like Bream bites, did they? I mean, they're kind of nibbly. That might be a white, though. No, that's a regular Bream. It's just a baby Bream. That was just a baby Bream. So far, this seems a little about like the other spot. Fairly dry at this point. Wow. What is this? $56.49. Oh, that's over off the tip over there. Oh, cool. All right, I'll try that. Let me make note of it. That's not what we want to do. All right, just as a public service announcement, I haven't said this in a long time. Thank you very much, Yala 2K17, for sending me the bait, the pieces of fish, as well as the white brie mix and stuff you sent. I actually am trying to do this account as completely free to play, so I'm not receiving any gifts on this account, and I'm also not premium, so I can't send stuff back to you from this account. And so, like, until I can make this stuff myself, I probably won't use it. But I do really appreciate the kind thought. I really do. All right, 56.49, clip 20 to 25. Throw parallel with log. Okay, we'll see what that means when we get there. Hopefully we'll be able to figure that out. So thanks again. Unfortunately, we cannot accept this stuff because I am keeping this free to play. I think that might be the wrong chat, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to stay here. Just to make sure we really fully have a feel of how this spot is. And then we'll, if this video is long enough, we'll try that other bream spot at the end of the episode. Whoa! Okay, hold on. It's not a bream, is it? Look at the speed of what that thing's moving. It's a bream on steroids or meth or something. If it's a bream. But I'm really skeptical that that's a bream. And unfortunately, we may not get to find out. But it is very possible that it will pop off any second now with this kind of pressure. I don't really think it'll spool us. I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like it's that strong. This is a carp, y'all. Right? The only thing I keep asking myself, You know, what I don't like is how fast it was moving. That, to me... Is that sucker going to go in the pond? Am I going to get spooled in the pond from over here? That would be funny. It's moving like a carp, like a grass carp. The only thing that I kept thinking in my head at first was with this 5.4 liter we have on. Good gravy. With this big old, with this small little leader we have on, you know, what would a... How are we going to get spooled 2 episodes in a row? Oh, did the fish get away? How lucky is that? Holy cow. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this bream spot is just as bad as the other one. Yeah, that's not a bream. That was not a bream. That was a total carp. If you ever feel like you've, you know, played so much Russian Fishing 4 that you're like, I don't know, taking it for granted or something, just go play another fishing game for a little while. Like, you know, it was frustrating getting spooled yesterday, popping my line on some big bream yesterday. I had a rough session, right? Sometimes we can take Russian Fishing 4 for granted. Just go play any of the other fishing games that you see on Steam. I mean, there's like 10 legit ones, right? Just go try any of them. That'll help you appreciate RF4 again. Alright. 56.49. And there's even some decent ones. I'm not saying none of them are any good. But man, none of them are RF4. Okay, that spot seems so bad. I'm not going to finish the morning. We'll at least get a couple of hours in up here. Alright, parallel to the log. Oh, that makes sense now, doesn't it? Alright, we want to go clip 20 to 25. So let's go 25 on this one. Are we casting like into that 6-meter hole? Yeah, or the edge of it at least. Is that long enough? Yeah. And let's go 23. Parallel to the log is really more like this, to be honest. And let's go clip 21. That might not be quite far enough, actually. It's all right. We're struggling. It's okay. So So that's actually the right species. It's pretty encouraging, no? Let's cast this in the right spot. We don't have long to test this spot before bream time is over. We're on the bream. Okay, 5649, clip 20 to 25. What you're doing is you're basically casting east, okay? Parallel to the log, but basically it's east. So far, this looks promising. Much more promising than that last spot. That's actually a nice bream. So thanks to Ayala? Thanks to Alaya for pointing out this spot. Where did Ayala get this spot? Did Ayala discover this spot on their own? Is this spot listed on one of the Russian or German sites? Very curious. But so far it seems legit. It may not be on fire bite rate wise like the other spot was, who knows, but I mean, we are catching bream. You know what's interesting is this is a spot listed on the Russian site, but it's for carp. And it's a much shorter clip. So it's really not this spot, but it's standing in the same spot. And then I'm not sure about German yet. So far, no white bream, which is really only, I mean, it's not necessarily a positive thing other than if it's, you know, if you're really trying to catch bream, it doesn't distract the bites for whites occasionally. But I kind of like it when whites are biting. Yeah, and this isn't a spot on German site at all, so I don't know where the spot came from, but good job to you or whoever found it. What are we at money-wise? Just over 1,000. Alright, let's put them back in one more time. I mean, I think it's probably time to go try to catch some tench or something, but let's make sure. Let's make sure. The bream time here may be a little shorter, a little smaller window, since it's not quite the insanity of our last spot, but that's okay. If we're catching bream, I am good with that. Alright, are we going to try to get... I really need to buy a couple of size 10 hooks. I hate to spend the money because we're so close to getting... Actually, maybe we just need one. Where are we going to try for tench today? It's nice being so close to the front here. Alright, size 10 hook. We also need a bigger leader on our second line. We're wasting strength right now. But I don't know that they have one. I hate that we lost that line. That was the most painful part about it. How are you out of size 10s, by the way? At least we're still getting points in bottom fishing a lot, huh? I didn't change the hook size. Oh yeah, I was just gonna look at leaders. I'm sure they don't have any what I need, but the old sidestep. So frustrating. So right now, in terms of leaders, we have 11.3. But what we actually want is like 15.8. We could do carp leaders. Or we could do mono leaders. Let's get a couple of these. Now we're set up. How much do we have? 1,072. If we're going to buy the Saber 60 here, we need what? Oh. We can get it. We should just buy it, right? Even though we don't have the rod yet. How much strength do I have on my second rod? I know I just did this the other day, but let me remind myself. Well, hey there. What's on maggots today? Oh, that's what we want to see. Just earn a few bucks while we're waiting on bream time. That's what we're trying to do here. Wheat seeds not catching tension anymore? Should we just have maggots in? Okay, so if we go to 16 kilo line, we're up to close to the load capacity, but I think we can get away with it. We can't go to 16 kilo line on this one. This one goes 12.5. So if we put the other Saber 60 on it, until we get a better rod, we're, you know, not going full strength, basically, is what I'm saying, which is fine. That full strength is just so that we can try to make some hay at Bear, if we're going to do that. Or we can go for double carp here at Burg. I mean, we could go potatoes on 2 rods here at Old Burg. You know, find an active common or grass carp spot and really go for it with overpowered Saber 60s. That's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. All right, now they're starting to come in a little bit, maybe. Hey, I'm fine with that. I mean, if I could just stand here and catch, you know, 700 plus gram roaches during the day, I'd be fine with that. That adds up. Yeah, once you get into like the mid levels, if you're wanting to like really aggressively go after XP, you kind of have to get into fish like carp. Some of the bigger fish, char's okay too, but char are a little bit hot and cold. It's easier to find active carp spots, I feel like. I like it. You know, I think when I was in my low 20s though, I didn't really worry about XP so much. I mean, I did a lot of bottom fishing for bream and eyed and other similar species, especially once you can get to Volkov. But that was really more about like earning silver. I mean, you are leveling, and you'll make progress at those levels, no matter what you're catching if you're getting experience. But to me, it's more about, what's fun, first of all, and second of all, what's going to make you some decent silver so you can continue to upgrade your gear. I don't think the game gets that grindy until the upper 20s and into your 30s. And then you have to look really close to see if the XP bar moved at all. Although on my main account, which is what, 37? Is that right? Anyway, I have noticed that the XP bar, like if I go fish carp for a while, even at that level, I make pretty decent progress. So carp can be really good at XP, especially at amber where you're just getting such a high percentage of large carp. Trying to think about how early do we want to test that bream spot out. It might be interesting if we're there by like 1800 and kind of really see it come into shape to see how good it is. Help me get a good feel for it. Let's see what we catch on this middle rod here, and then I might run to the cafe, just see what orders are up, make sure we don't miss an easy order on an 800 gram tench or something. Oh, did you see that? Just turn that tench around. It was headed in one direction. Boom. Not so fast, my friend. Okay. We've got just over an in-game hour. But if decent tench come out here for a couple hours, like it might be worth hanging out a little bit longer. You know, we may get another one, but I think that's close enough just to go ahead and call it. All right. So no super exciting cafe orders right now, unfortunately. But I'm glad we grabbed that tench order. Yeah, the tench are showing up. We've ended up with, what, 3 decent tench? We traded one into the cafe. All right. That's a fatty one. Okay, let's see if we can dial it in a little bit. basically going clip 25 on all of them for now. What did we just do? 3762. So these breams should start getting a little better in about an hour. But you would like to see at least one like surprise marker before then. Maybe this is it. It's another crucian. Thank you kindly. There we go. 21.22. Our first over a kilo. Actually, $44.50 at Bear is good today, huh? I do want to do some carp fishing on my main account, so. Okay, I'm going to clip this one at 20 for right now. Potato. Probably ought to, well, I don't know. We'll keep these two at 25 for a little bit longer. Let's see what's happening here. I just wonder if 20 might perform a little better than 25, but I don't know. Overcast. Potato. Oh my goodness. Wait, who had a nice one? A nice what? Pike? Jessica had a nice pike. Oh, that catfish. Blah. I was trying to catch Volgas. That's the worst. You're trying to get one of the smallest fish in the game that's worth a ton of money per gram, and you come up with an almost 60 kilo, yes, that's 100 and almost 30 pound catfish. Whew. All right, we're getting some junk bream right now. We'll go 21 clip on this one actually, because it's a little farther back. Not quite a full meter back, but, oh, yes. That means we can just do 90% cast. Come on. Don't be a crucian. Ah, still haven't moved this one. Still got that one at 25. We've only had one over a kilo, and it's after midnight. It's okay, though. Can you believe how close to Volkov we are? I mean, just in this... I came to eat your bait. Just in the sense that we're like over 18 and a half. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. If you don't want to do carp fishing, if you don't want to fight big carp on undersized gear, it's not that bad leveling to 20, and then you can go get you have Volkov, a whole nother big beautiful place with lots of bottom fishing opportunities. And if you're not going to fish for carp, and so if you're not trying to save silver as fast as you can for the big feeder gear or the carp gear, then you can spend some of that silver on at least getting some spinning rods that you can do trolling and make a ton of silver on Cory and eventually Volkov trolling. So I feel like that's just another path you can take. It's hard to do it all at lower levels. And so it just depends on what you're interested in. On my main account, when I got to Cory, I definitely started spin fishing. And that was the first time I spent any amount of time spin fishing. And back then, in fact, it's been this way again recently, but back then you could just sort of stand on the shore or on the island or on the key, and you could have feeders in and be spin fishing and just make a killing. But even if it's not viable to do that, because at some points that slows down a bit, but you could pretty much always go troll quarry and do pretty well. Even if you have some slow days, if you're patient, you'll hit the jackpot, get a couple nice quarry char, and makes the whole day worth it. Speaking of jackpot, we need to hit one here. Wow. This is a long time to go without a bite in a bream spot, right? Nice Arctic. That's a really nice Arctic char. Well, somebody's catching bream. Maporco and Junkie catching bream. What is the level for carp mix? Oh my goodness, we can almost make it. I forget about that. So instead of peas, we use something else. What level do you get peas? All right. So our goals before we even think about attempting carp fishing is get second Saber 60, our second appropriate rod for the Saber 60. Both lines squared away on our two Saber 60 rigs. Level up ground bait to 30%, which isn't much. We're almost there. Is there anything on harvesting baits that we need to do? Right, not really. I mean, there's nothing that we're about to get that's like just crazy for carp or anything. We've already got potatoes and the ability to get boilies. That's all we need. We can make carp ground bait once we hit 30%, I guess. So then we can just give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? We have to limp back to Old Burg and fish here. Although I think carp fishing at Old Burg is also very interesting. There's some ways we can use the pond to protect ourselves. Some of it will just be depend on where's some good hot spots when we're ready to actually do that. We're still a few sessions away from being ready, especially if we can't find some hotter spots than this. I'm not above going back to mosquito and or winding and figuring out how to like hit some cafe orders and see if there's some hotter spots there. It's a little hard at this level to imagine like going back to catching 100 crucian and gibble in a day, but if we're just like hitting rough orders and getting a few orders done at least once a day, like that's pretty reliable silver. More silver than we've made in this long session. This spot isn't good enough, I don't think. I just don't think it's good enough. All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, we've caught about 15 to 20 fish that are even worth thinking about in this whole session, plus that one tench we sold at the cafe. So not very much. So, you know, we've just had a couple of, after a really nice run to get this account like up and running, we've had some slowness in the last couple days. And some of it has just been I haven't spent as much time in the game on this account or my main account, like experimenting with things. And we're about to go out of town tomorrow, so things will be a little different by the time I get back. I guess if you all hear or experience any really, really good bream spots over the next couple days that might be worth trying when I do get back, please let me know. But we can grind it out. I'm not above grinding it out. I'm going to go ahead and buy the Saber 60, I think. Even though that's going to cut us down to not much silver. I think it's worth it just to go ahead and get that done. Make sure we get one while it's in stock. White bream order is interesting. We could have done that at the other spot. Okay, so let's see. I think we're going to get about 45 silver here. 70, okay. Okay, back up to 1164. $11.64, huh? Make that 126. Okay. Okay, like I said, out of town for a few days. We'll be back. I'll be back Monday. Monday night, I don't know what all I'll be doing once we're back into town, but it's possible I could have an episode that we could get going Monday night and have that up posted sometime Monday night. Again, it'll just depend on what all's going on, but I've got a couple surprises for you. I'll try to have, 2 or 3 things that'll, at least one thing per day while I'm gone should pop up on the channel, so hope you enjoy that. Tight lines, wet nets. Look forward to seeing you soon. Peace out.